Hi everyone, intuitive and astrologer Lisa Salvatore here to talk to you about the new moon in Virgo that we have taking place on September 2nd. For those of you that are new to my channel, welcome. It is lovely to have you here. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe so that you are notified of new uploads. For those of you that have been with me before, welcome back. It is lovely to have you here. A few things before we get started. My September through December forecast is now available, and you can find all of the information for that in the links below in the description box. You can also find my website there. You can sign up for my newsletter. I do live weekly forecasts, which are part of my subscription. And again, you can find all of that linked below in the description box. You can also find the overview for the month of September, the astrological and energetic forecast. It's linked below in the description box. And for my subscribers, there's also a reading in there for each sign that is available through my subscription. So let's go right into this new moon in Virgo, and I'm also going to get into it by sign, so stay tuned. This new moon in Virgo is about fresh new beginnings for every single sign. Virgo is all about where we clean it up, mind, body, spirit. And the image that came to me with the Virgo season, with this particular Virgo season and this Virgo new moon, was a plunger. And I know that that sounds gross, but it's about cleaning things up, getting rid of the mess, clearing out the pathways so that things can flow smoothly again. This new moon takes place on September 2nd at 9:56 p.m. Eastern Time, at 11 degrees and 4 minutes of Virgo. So you're going to want to check your chart to see which area contains Virgo. That way you can set an intention in this area of life. You can always pull up your birth chart right on my website, again linked in the description box, lisasalvatore.com. I also have a 3-part tutorial which guides you through identifying new moons and full moons in your birth chart and why this is significant and powerful to work with these energies. You can find that under my courses and products for those that are interested. And while everyone will feel this new moon, and new moons are always a very powerfully potent time for new beginnings, for starting over fresh, for setting intentions, and everyone will benefit and experience the energies of this new moon, but those that will feel it the most strongly are going to be those with strong Virgo especially, Pisces, Sagittarius, Gemini, also Capricorn and Taurus, and even more significantly if any of your points and or placements fall between 9 and 13 degrees of any of those signs that I just mentioned: Virgo, Pisces, Sagittarius, Gemini, Taurus, Capricorn. Now this new moon is a mixed bag of opportunity and stress. The thing about Virgo energy that's really great is that it really is all about our health. It's about our physical health and our nutrition, but it's also about our spiritual health because Virgo is the opposite sign of Pisces. So there's a very strong focus on all facets of our health overall, mind, body, and spirit. And there's this very strong energy of cleaning things up. Now, when we have a new moon, even though it's about new beginnings and setting intentions and fresh starts, it's important to note that we don't actually see the moon when we have a new moon. It is the point of the lunar cycle. It's the very beginning, but it's completely dark. We do not see the moon at all. Now, not every new moon is created equal, as we know. We will all likely be feeling the call to clean things up. It could be literal cleaning, cleaning the clutter out of our lives. There's a lot more focus on efficiency. How are we using our time? The structure in our lives, our schedules, lists, chores, tending to the details. That is what Virgo is very good at. That is what Virgo energy is known for. And remember, we all have Virgo somewhere in our chart, somewhere in our lives, even if we do not have any planets there. That's why I'm always promoting people to look to their own birth chart. But where we have Virgo in our chart is going to talk about an area of our lives where we are going to be working towards being more efficient, being more structured, or maybe in some cases we're too efficient and or too structured in that area of our lives. But either way, we are all being called to clean it up somehow, to start fresh, to tend to the details, to let go of waste, and to be more practical in our approach to the everyday. And I think for everyone, it's very important around this new moon to pay attention to where we are the most critical, both of ourselves and of others. It's important to remember that perfection is an impossibility, and also that imperfection is perfection. We all have our quirks. And this new moon is a reminder to try to be a little bit more tolerant of our own unique quirks and those of others. Be less critical. Trust the natural flow and order of the universe right now, and know that not everything can go according to plan, but you can still try and plan for it. A big message and theme around this new moon. Let's pull up the chart. We have our Virgo new moon taking place on September 2nd at 9:56 p.m. Eastern Time. We see right here the sun and the moon are aligned at 11 degrees and 4 minutes of Virgo. Now, the ruler of this new moon is Mercury, because Mercury is the ruler of Virgo, and Mercury is now direct. We see Mercury right here at 23 degrees of Leo. And even though Mercury is direct, Mercury is still what we call in its post-shadow retrograde phase. So we're not totally out of the Mercury retrograde shenanigans yet until September 11th, when Mercury clears its shadow. But for all intents and purposes, the ruler of this new moon, which is Mercury, is now direct and moving ahead. So communications and information could start to move ahead quite quickly, particularly around this new moon. You could feel like the pep in your step is coming back and some precision is entering. But just know that there is still room for some blunders. Both the sun and the moon are in opposition to Saturn here, okay? Saturn's at 16 degrees of Pisces, and that's opposite this new moon in Virgo. And this makes us feel more serious about what we are feeling more serious about. We're feeling more structured. This pulls more focus onto that energy of cleaning things up, of getting serious. This is not a very playful new moon, but it's most certainly a new moon that is very much geared towards movement forward, progressive movement forward, but not without our participation. And this new moon in opposition to Saturn will pull focus onto one or more areas of our lives where we are not doing our work. And we all know that, right? We all know when we're slacking, but this new moon will definitely pull focus or shine a light onto the areas of our lives where we might be slacking. And we're going to feel called to correct it. Another big thing that's happening around this new moon, and I talked about this more in the September forecast, is that we've got Mars over here at 28 degrees of Gemini, moving into a perfect square with Neptune over here at 29 degrees of Pisces. And Mars square Neptune can absolutely make things feel very foggy and very stressed. But more importantly, our energy levels can be all over the place, even more specifically if you have strong mutable energy, which is Pisces, Virgo, Sagittarius, or Gemini. You're going to vacillate between feeling highly energized and motivated to wanting to fall flat on your face and losing steam. You can feel physically depleted at this time. So this is definitely the new moon for everyone, but specifically more so if you fall under any of those 4 signs that I just mentioned, or you have strong placements in those signs. Pisces, Virgo, Sagittarius, Gemini, you're going to want to really pay attention to your physical body and to what it is telling you, what you're craving, what you need, what you want to change, what you want to let go of, what you want more of. Virgo's a very intuitive sign, and it's very intuitive to the body. It's Earth, so it's all about the physicality. So pay attention to how you feel and what your body is telling you around this new moon. It's going to give you guidance towards what you need more of and what you need less of, what you need to let go of. So don't be surprised if your energy levels are all over the place around this new moon. We're also dealing with the Saturn-Jupiter square, which can make us feel like things are moving forward, but yet at the same time, we're being forced to step on the brakes or jam on them in some cases, metaphorically speaking. This could be based upon what's going on outside of us. We will absolutely be seeing this play out on the collective levels on the world stage. We have asteroid Ceres over here at 7 degrees of Capricorn. And Ceres is square to the North Node over here at 6 degrees of Aries, and also the South Node over here at 6 degrees of Libra, which pulls in a T-square configuration. This is tension. And the thing is about the North and the South nodes is that this speaks to destiny. This speaks to the future, and this also speaks to the past. This is about embracing the new and releasing the old, releasing what does not serve. And there's a tension here. It's about mind, body, spirit, what nurtures me, what has a place in my future reality, and what do I feel like I need to release? What is not helping me to grow and move forward? It's a personal point of checking in. And again, because Ceres is all about the way we nurture ourselves, and Ceres is currently in Capricorn, which is an earth sign, it's all about the physical. Very strong focus on the physicality here. So again, if we're not taking care of ourselves, if we're not nurturing ourselves, it's going to become blaringly obvious where and how we are not doing so. And releasing specific situations, energies, relationships, toxins, it's going to be much more pronounced. We've likely already known this, but we can't ignore it any longer. It's going to be very loud right now. Now let's also talk about the fact that Pluto is now back at the 29th degree of Capricorn, the critical degree, for the final time. Pluto is going to vacate Capricorn for good and enter Aquarius for the next 2+ decades. In November, but from now until November 19th, 20th, just expect the world stage to be hot. It already is, but it's going to be ramped up. Remember that 29th degree, Pluto, this is all about the deconstruction and the reconstruction. This is all about the burial and then the resurrection. This is metaphorical. But this is about our country. This is about our nation. This is about the policies, the structures, the foundations, those in positions of power, the political stage, the financial stage. We're at that final go around, that 29th degree, Pluto and Capricorn. That which needs to die will die so that it can be reborn better, stronger. That's the goal. But until we get there, until we get to the new, there's going to always be that feeling of powerlessness and destruction. And it doesn't have to be that dramatic, by the way. But you might want to look to your birth chart, to the part that contains Capricorn, to see where you are wrapping up a very long cycle, because Pluto's been in Capricorn since 2008. Where have you transformed? Where have we all transformed? And where will we continue to transform? Neptune is also at this critical 29th degree. Neptune over here at 29 degrees of Pisces. And Neptune will actually recede back to the 28th degree not long after this new moon. So we could hear a lot surrounding water at this time. Also medicine. Then we've got Uranus over here at 27 degrees of Taurus, now retrograde. And Uranus is in a trine to Pluto and in a supportive sextile to Neptune. So we've got Uranus retrograde as of September 1st and Pluto and Neptune both at that 29th degree, that critical anaretic degree. And even though Uranus is in a soft aspect to both Neptune and Pluto, there's still this element of the unexpected, especially when it comes to the weather and money on the world stage. So don't be surprised, and I'm not saying this, I'm not willing it to be so, but don't be surprised if there's even more eruptions, okay? By way of literal, like volcanoes, volcanic eruptions, also water, like such as floods or some very heavy wet weather in certain parts of the world. You know, fire, water, it's ramped up right now, and we'll likely see an increase in that. We also have Mars at 28 in a quincunx to Pluto over here at 29 of Capricorn. And when we're dealing with that quincunx aspect or the inconjunct, it's this feeling of adjustments need to be made in order to set the record straight, in order to balance out or level out the playing field, because this is about power dynamics. September is a big month for relationships. I mentioned that in the forecast for September. So again, we will likely be experiencing these power dynamics within the relationships in our lives, and we're going to definitely see this playing out on the world stage. Absolutely. It could also be very helpful to refer back to around the time period of July 21st when we had that full moon in Capricorn, because that full moon was at the 29th degree of Capricorn, the anaretic degree. And now that Uranus has stationed retrograde, something could just come back around for you to recognize, and it could give you a lot of insights into what needs to shift or into validation for you about something that you're already feeling. So you just might want to refer back to that full moon that we had on July 21st. Another important thing to mention, because I keep talking about paying attention to the physical body. Now remember, every sign, every planet has various functions and rules over various parts of our body, rules over various parts of life in general, and subjects in general. So for Virgo, the parts of the body that Virgo rules over specifically are the pancreas, the small intestine, the colon, the digestive tract is a big one, our eyes, our ears, and some other organs. So you might find that around this new moon, some of those areas could feel more sensitive, especially if you have strong Virgo, like you're a Virgo rising or a Virgo moon. Specifically the moon, because the moon is our emotion in our body. So you might find that your digestion is more ramped up around this time. So tune in, see what you need more of, see what you could have less of. And there's a very strong reminder around this new moon as well, not to be a victim, and also not to stay in a space or play in a space of powerlessness. This is about owning your power. This is about recognizing your power. Remember, Pluto is at the 29th degree of Capricorn, wrapping things up. So again, look to the part of your birth chart that contains Capricorn, channel your inner god or goddess, channel your inner strength, and recognize where you've transformed. Be proud of yourself. Don't be too critical of yourself. With Virgo energy, there's that potential to lend more toward that critical energy, and we want to try to diminish that. We want to look at how far we've come, how much we've grown, how much we've done, and what we still want to do. This is about making plans, making a schedule of sorts, putting things into practice. Remember, Virgo is ruled by Mercury. Mercury is the manifester. Manifestation is simply intention. So set some intentions around this new moon, specifically by the Virgo area of your chart. And one other aspect here is that this new moon is conjunct fixed star Zosma. Remember, with fixed stars, like Demetria George said, if it's in the sky, it's in our psyche. And this fixed star is very close to this new moon, almost exact. So it's significant. Zosma sits in the constellation of Leo. It's on the back of the lion. And Zosma is said to carry the vibration of both planets Saturn and Venus. And Saturn is all about commitment, where Venus is all about connection. And we know that relationships are of prime focus right now. Lots of karmic implications. There's a lot of relationships exiting and then new ones entering. And we're being called to do things a different way. Our own commitment and our own connections are being questioned by us, and also could be by others, but mainly by us. This is more of an internal process, which then carries outward. But there's a very strong energy of love and connection right now, but it's very important to connect and love the self most authentically in order to really reap the benefits of the positivity of this energy. Like I always say, one of my Lisa-isms is to commit to what you are connected to and connect to what you are committed to. Now let's go through the signs, what this new moon means for you by your sign. Now remember, I highly suggest that you follow your rising sign for most accuracy, but you can absolutely also listen to both your sun sign and your moon sign if you know it, because you will likely resonate with all three, but mostly with your rising sign. Again, if you don't know what that means, go and check out your birth chart. It's linked right on my homepage, lisasalvatore.com, and note your rising sign or your ascendant. It will say ASC, that is your rising sign or ascendant. Those words are interchangeable. And this will be the area of your life where you're going to want to set some intentions for optimal growth. Overall, big picture for all of the signs, remember that whatever you're working toward, this is all about your well-being, mind, body, spirit. This is all about embracing challenges head on to remove any potential blockages that we might be experiencing. We're being very supported right now in doing so. And I just want to stress that even though we're going to all be feeling like there's this push to move forward and to get things going and to get things cleaned up and started, we are still contending with Saturn, okay? Planet Saturn, Big Daddy Saturn. He's glaring his stern eyes down on all of us. He's opposing this new moon. So he's like, oh, you want to do that? Okay, well, I'm going to show you why that might be challenging. And what are the restrictions as to why you can't move forward fearlessly or the way you want to? Let me show you your blockages one more time. So just note that even though this is a new moon that is profound for deep healing and changes and growth and movement forward and cleaning things up more positively, there is also still this energy of resistance that we are experiencing through Saturn's stern eyes, the planet Saturn. But again, no work, no reward, right? Aries, this is a great new moon for you to really pay attention to your everyday routines, your everyday reality, the way you're living your life, the way you're taking care of your physical vessel, the way that you're exercising, if anything, your nutrition. Now, I know I said that that was going to be for everybody, but because of where this new moon is falling in your chart, if you're Aries rising, it's your 6th house. This does speak to your physical body and your health and your nutrition. It's your everyday life, your habits, your routines, your work, your service. So if this is something that you really want to be working on or you really want to change, it's really important that you pull into that and you trust your intuition to make a plan to go in the direction of your heart's truest desires. You're a go-getter. So if there's something about the everyday that you're not liking, that you're not feeling good about, that you're not confident or comfortable with, this is the new moon where you're going to want to set some intentions to make those changes. And you may find that the universe is already providing you some tools to do so. A specific relationship in your life needs some TLC. This could be a relationship with a child in your life or your relationship to a creative project that you've been working on for quite some time that needs some sprucing up. This will be a very supportive new moon for you in setting new habits with a specific relationship or a creative project. This is also a great new moon to release some control and allow more fun and joy into your life. Get out and play. It doesn't always have to be so serious. Gemini. Home improvement seems to be at the forefront for you. What do you want to change about your living environment, your foundation? This could also even be an office space. You may find yourself really wanting to spruce things up, or a new opportunity could come through for you, which brings you a new living situation or a new space to do work out of. This feels like a more private and personal new moon for you. I definitely feel like a lot of the Geminis will feel very depleted, so I want you to really pay attention and take care of the physical body at this time. Pull into practices that help calm down the nervous system. You're probably going to want to be staying home a lot, whatever home is for you or wherever home is for you. It's not as much of an expressive new moon for you, but it will be great for cleaning up your environment. Cancer, this new moon could have you feeling the need to express yourself in a much more deep and different way, and even more if it has to do with a sibling or a cousin or a family member, a colleague, or somebody who you're connected to on the everyday, or if not on the everyday, somebody who you're connected to at a more intimate level. There's going to be the need for communication here and the opportunity here to clean things up. So do not stifle your voice. I feel like it's very important for our Cancers that you use your voice around this new moon, or at the very least, you make a plan to use your voice. You make a plan for that important conversation. Your throat chakra is being exercised around this new moon, and it's wise to honor that. When given the choice, don't stifle your voice. Leo, how are your finances? This new moon is going to be pulling a lot of focus onto your personal financial situation, also the way you feel about your own money and yourself, and the way that this connects. Do you feel that you're making enough money? Do you feel like you need to do something different with your money? How are you feeling about your physical body? Are you taking care of yourself? Are you spending too much? This is also a great new moon for you to really get in touch with your physical body and see what it needs. This is a great new moon for you to set some intentions about what you want the next decade of your life to look like, especially when it comes to your money. Virgo, this is your new moon. We get one a year. The world is your oyster. Set some powerful, positive intentions here for yourself and watch how things grow. Remember that Virgo is ruled by Mercury, the planet Mercury, which is all about communication. It's about our mind. It's the way that we think. It's the words that we speak and those that we do not speak. It's the words that we hold within ourselves. It's really important to keep the communication, the self-talk very positive. Focus on what you want. Focus on what you want to call in, what you desire, and what you want to bring in. Because right now you're the master manifester. And manifestation is simply intention. So vibe on what you want and try to let go of the need to control the outcome. Just put it out there that this is what you want and allow the universe, the divine, however you look at it, to co-create and co-conspire on your behalf. Remember, the world is your oyster and this is your new moon. So dream big. And don't be surprised if you get some very unexpected communications around this new moon and throughout the month of September. Because again, we're cleaning things up. And even if you don't feel or you don't need to be the one to clean anything up, others might feel that way where it involves you. So stay open. Let go of control, and try not to be too critical, both of yourself and of others. Libra, around this new moon, you're going to likely feel like you just want to be alone. You don't want to be bothered. Psychologically speaking, emotionally speaking, you could be really feeling the effects of the last 3 months that could be grating on you and weighing on you. You're going to likely feel very tired. So honor that. Honor the soul solitude. Spend some time in retreat. Spend some time in nature. Spend some time with yourself. Be alone with your thoughts. What is it that's most important to you? This new moon can feel particularly emotional for you, and it might not be what you're used to, but it is necessary. Allow yourself to get out of the mind and get into the heart space. It will serve you well. And new opportunities are right around the corner. Scorpio, there could be a new group event or dynamic emerging. Perhaps you're involved in a new collaboration. It might even be with a friend. But group efforts and group dynamics are at the forefront around this new moon and the month of September for you in general. You're being asked to let go of control, much like I said to Virgo, and you're being asked to trust. There could also be a wonderful opportunity to travel with a friend, to travel with somebody that you're closely connected to. And this could also favor a group. This could be a group dynamic or some sort of a group retreat, or maybe you're facilitating one, or you're thinking about doing that. This will be a great new moon to set plans in motion for any type of group event or an outing with a friend. Travel is also favored for you at this time. Sagittarius. Have you been feeling stuck in your career? Have you been feeling stuck with your path in life? I won't sugarcoat it. You will feel stressed around this new moon, but that stress is trying to indicate, it's trying to show you, it's trying to break you open to where you need to move forward, to where you need to make some changes, to where you need to put your energy. Like I said to Virgo, your manifestation powers are high around this new moon, especially where it comes to your everyday life, to your job, to your reputation, to your public face. So even though you might feel stressed, this is a very powerful, positive new moon for you for movement forward with your career and your trajectory. For some of you, there could be a divorce looming or a legal separation of some kind. It could have to do with a business, but I feel like for most of you that I'm referring to, this would be a marital situation. And again, even though it's stressful, move forward fearlessly. Know that you're making the right decision for yourself. You deserve to be happy. Capricorn, this is a great new moon for those of you that are looking to embark upon a new course of study or just something new in general. Perhaps you're learning a foreign language. Perhaps you're traveling to a foreign land or you're making plans to do so. Around this new moon, the energy is really supporting you with that, with the new. You may find yourself thinking of something in a totally different way, specifically when it comes to your spiritual and or political orientation. You're looking at things through a different lens. It's more expansive for you. Just remember that you don't have to polarize and you don't have to be black or white. You're allowed to be in the middle and you're allowed to change your mind, whether that's about a person, a situation, etc. But expansion is the name of the game here for you. What have you been wanting to do? that you haven't allowed yourself to do yet? Where have you been wanting to go that you haven't allowed yourself to go yet? Pull into that energy. Aquarius. How are your intimate relationships? This new moon can have you in your feels, and you can be feeling things much more deeply than what is normal for you, than what is typical for you. Specifically, if you have strong Scorpio as well. Intimate relationships are definitely under the microscope. You are recognizing where you've been wronged in one or more relationships. You will not take it anymore. On the other side of that, there could be someone or some situation that you've been wanting to grow closer to. So intimacy around this new moon is favored, but you must first get out of your head and into your heart and recognize what it is that you genuinely and truly want, what you desire. Your desires are up front and center around this new moon. So set your intentions wisely and be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it all. Pisces. This new moon has a very strong focus on all of your relationships, all of your connections, especially the connection to you, to self. Self-care is on the docket for this new moon. You are the opposite sign of Virgo. You're going to likely feel tired, stressed, and taxed around this new moon, but at the same time, very motivated and very positive. A lot has been shifting for you. There's been a lot of growth over these last couple of years. You're coming up to the end of a cycle. Saturn's been moving through Pisces, so there's just been a lot of recognition of how the old ways are not working for you and how much you desire the new. And you're going to really see the forest through the trees around this new moon. This is going to be an eye-opening new moon for you. So meditate, stay in your boundaries. Don't be afraid to set boundaries where you need to. The pathways are opening up for you. And as you release those relationships, those connections that are not serving your soul, just know that you're making space for those that are more spiritually aligned to come in. And for a lot of you, that's already occurring. Be proud of how far you've come. Set some intentions around this new moon for how you want your relationships to be, how you want them to feel, what you want them to look like, and make sure you take some time for rest, both physically and spiritually, because there is strong potential for you to be very depleted around this time. But forewarned is forearmed. There's your reading for the Virgo new moon and through all 12 signs. I hope that that was helpful. Take really good care of yourselves. Again, don't forget to check out the full September reading, which is linked below in the description box. You can also find all of my other information there and previous videos. Take good care.